What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Militia Gaming Community. I'm Trigger, and this video is all about the 2016 Ford Focus RS. We've got a hot hatch for you today. Let's go! Alright guys, if you haven't seen this video before, this type of video before, this is my wrong build series in which I go through each of the cars and I test them for off-road, track, drag, and drift, and then we give you 4 different builds for the car. So this time, this is the Ford Focus RS, the 2016, and right here at the front of the video, I like to give you the engine because I know that's the most important part of the build. After that, everything is a little bit based on preference and some performance testing. But let's go ahead and get into the engine for this Ford Focus. All right, so in my testing, there were 2 engines that actually performed really well, and I had a really hard time picking out the engine that I liked the best. And so it came down to me to handling. The times were very similar between the 440 3.5 V6 and the 577 horsepower 4.0 V8. Now I'm gonna go with the 577 horsepower 4.0 liter V8 because it actually felt a little bit better in the handling. It felt like something that I could swing the car around. I don't really know how to explain it, but it is what it is. This is the engine I'm going with. If you picked the 440 3.5 liter V6, I wouldn't say that you're wrong. You can definitely use that engine and you're not going to be losing a ton of speed. These times were very close, within a half a second of each other when testing these on Arian. But I like the handling characteristics of this 577, so that's the engine we're going with. All right, so here's what I've got on the car so far. Super track suspension, elite brakes, elite race tires, elite plus clutch, elite plus 8-speed gearbox, and the super track differential. What I want to do now is take this Ford Focus through a sonic run to get a sonic time down and just see how fast it is there compared to other cars. I'll give you the live tuning, which I've already tested, and then give you the full track build, which is essentially this, but I'll give you the build card as soon as we're done with the sonic run. Let's get at it. All right, I don't really know what I expect from this car on sonic. On in wide open courses, I feel like it struggles in the very top end of the car. Above 200 miles per hour, it just doesn't feel like it's very fast. But it's very quick off the line, and it's quick to get to, oh my god, traffic. Let's go. All right, sonic test, here we go. And we're using NOS refills on this one as well. Hopefully I can hit these turns correctly. We'll see what happens here. I'll take it. Another crucial part of this sonic race is this jump. Let's see, can I position myself in the correct spot? Close enough, baby. Oh, I slid out a little bit. The car handles pretty well. I was expecting it to be a lot worse when I started driving it. I was kind of expecting it to handle like the Club Sport GTI. But because it's all-wheel drive, you do get a little bit of that rear wheel slippage that you need for the Need for Speed Heat handling model. So I'm actually quite surprised with this car. This just might be the fastest hot hatch in the game, which is kind of sad for me because I own a GTI in real life and I really wanted a GTI to be the one. All right, we got full NOS going into this last section of this race. Gotta use NOS after every single turn here. A little bit of scrub there. See, it's losing a little bit of traction, but you gotta have that for some of the tighter courses. Here we go. That's all I got. We need one more NOS. Give it to me. All right. We're gonna be sitting comfortably in the 40s for this one. With a 246. All right, 246.13 is not terrible, but it's not really that great either. The fastest cars in the game run it in the 230s. As you could tell, I made a few mistakes, but not enough to cost me 6 seconds, I don't think. I didn't hit any walls or, you know, I didn't really make a major mistake. So the most amount of time I think we can scrub off that is around 3 to 4 seconds. And Maybe it's more, I'm not sure. But I'm telling you, this doesn't feel like the fastest car in the game, but it's definitely not slow. It feels actually pretty good. I like the way this car handles compared to the other hot hatches in the game, namely the 2000 Civic and the Club Sport GTI. So I'm a big fan of this so far. And it's totally a shame because I own a GTI in real life and I really am like arch enemies with the focus groups here in California. So it kind of kills me to say that this might be the fastest hot hatch in the game. Anyway, let's go ahead and show you the live tuning. Actually, let's go ahead and throw up the build card now because this is it. This is the track build with the live tuning. Here we go. So again, that 4.0 liter V8 engine with all Ultimate Plus engine parts and the Ultimate Dual Turbo, Ultimate 5x3 pound NOS, Super Track suspension, Elite brakes, Elite race tires, Elite Plus clutch, Elite 8-speed gearbox, Super Track differential with NOS refills and NOS duration. And then as far as the live tuning goes, you're looking at steering sensitivity up 2, downforce -3, traction control off, and drift style on gas. That is the live tuning. All right, we want to turn this thing into a drag build, so let's go. First thing you want to do is swap the NOS. This is the first thing I always do. You want to have that 1x15 pound tank if you're going to be drag racing with your friends. After that, you want to switch to the drag tires. Now this is an interesting one because it is an all-wheel drive car. Drag tires should work very well, but we need to look at those 0 to 60. I've seen it where the drag tires do not help the car, they actually hurt the car. In this case, it's going to help the car with its 0 to 60, so we're going to equip them. The last thing that we need to test is the gearboxes. Most of the time, the track gearbox, the gearbox we use for track, is actually the best gearbox for drag, but sometimes it requires less gears to be faster on a quarter mile. So we're going to test all of the gearboxes. I want to make sure I have one of each in stock. I do. And then the Super Track differential. So let's get outside the garage. Let's test this thing out for drag. Okay, so let's take note of the quarter mile time of 8.63 with these tires and this gearbox. If we drop the downforce all the way down, it goes down 0.03 of a second, and that's what we want. So let's drop the downforce all the way down. 8.60 with this 8-speed. Let's go to the 5-speed and see what happens here. It's interesting that you can put a 5-speed in this because the Ford Focus RS in real life actually comes with a 6-speed, which is kind of interesting. 8.77, so it's definitely slower with the 5. Let's swap to the 6. This would be a stock gearbox for this car in real life. 8.63, that's actually pretty quick, but it's not faster than the 8-speed. My guess is the 7 and the 8 will be identical, but let's just see here. 7-speed gearbox is 8.60. All right, so it's the same with the 7 or the 8. Just for simplicity, I'm gonna leave the 8 in there so that when you're racing your friends, you're drag racing and you're track racing, you don't have to be switching a lot of things. All you have to do is switch the NOS and the tires, and then you're good to go. Oh, and also drop down the downforce on your live tuning. So let's drop the 8-speed back in this car and then throw up the build card, make sure you've got it all here. So same engine, 4.0 V8. And we're looking at Ultimate Plus engine parts, Ultimate Dual Turbo like always. And then we've got the 1x15 pound NOS, Super Track suspension, Elite brakes, Elite drag tires, Elite Plus clutch, Elite Plus 8-speed gearbox, and Super Track differential. So in the middle of giving you guys the build card, I just thought of something else that I recognized with other all-wheel drive cars. When you put drag tires on the car, they have a tendency to do a wheelie, which doesn't really make a lot of sense considering it's an all-wheel drive car. That being said, this one does a wheelie if you NOS off the line, so you have to do two things. You have to do one of two things. Either you can't NOS off the line and you have to NOS midway through your run, or, which is not that good, or you leave track tires on the car and it'll run it faster than if you had drag tires on the car, even though the stats say that the drag tires are faster. So here's what happens with drag tires if you just launch and NOS off the line. You get literally no acceleration because of the wheelie. So here we go. And there's an infinity in my way. Bro, here we go. Look at the wheelie, look at the wheelie. It gets down, and now it's accelerating. And I hit the infinity. It just doesn't work out very well. All right, now let's see what happens when we have track tires on there and we NOS off the line. Instant boost. No wheelie, just boosty. All right, now some of you might be wondering, why are you NOSing in a drag race? You shouldn't be NOSing in a drag race. Yeah, because most people online will NOS, and you don't have the ability to communicate with them in general, so everybody's gonna NOS. Just be prepared for it. The build card for this will be corrected. It will not be drag tires that I recommend. I recommend track tires for this drag build, and because of that, we must check the new quarter mile, which is 8.63. But 8.63 is actually going to be faster than the supposed 8.60 that you would get with drag tires. Just ignore it. Stats are wrong. It performs better with track tires. Let's move on to the drift build. Because this is an all-wheel drive car, we're going to go with the all-wheel drive drift build. And that includes the showcase suspension, drift tires, and the sport drift differential. That is the all-wheel drive drift build. Now let's mess with the live tuning and then take it out for some spins. Oh, you know what? One more thing before we do this. We need to customize this car. I haven't done anything to the car, I've just been testing it. But it looks so stock. It looks like it belongs on a dealership. We're not doing that. Let's customize it. Oh yeah, you know we gotta have that surfy wrap, baby. Look at this thing. Ooh, OMG surfy wraps. Let's go, dude. This thing looks sick. Oh, it's so clean. This is gonna look nice. We're putting some orange smoke with this, for sure. Oh, but look at all that tire gap. We gotta drop that down. I'm not gonna lie, dude. This thing looks insane. I'm kind of a Focus hater, but this thing looks good. Let's go get these wheels spinning, baby. This is the best drift build for this car for sure, man. This thing feels so good. This feels just like the Evo 9. All-wheel drive setup. This thing is so fun, dude. And this wrap is so clean. All right, throw up that drift card. Again, that 4.0 liter V8 engine. Ultimate Plus engine parts with the Ultimate Dual Turbo. Ultimate 5x3 pound NOS. Super Showcase suspension. Elite brakes. Elite drift tires. Elite Plus clutch, Elite Plus 8-speed gearbox, and the Sport Drift differential. Auxiliaries are totally up to you, but I use the refills and NOS duration. Not really gonna matter for the drift build. As far as the live tuning goes, this feels perfect with a downforce of -5, steering sensitivity +2, You can go higher on the steering sensitivity if you want, but it feels pretty good at this way. I don't know that you're going to want to change it. Traction control off and drift style on gas. All right, let's move into the last build of the video, the off-road build. All right, first thing you want to do is swap the suspension, the tires, and the differential. So let's go to rally suspension. Let's swap the tires to off-road. And let's swap the differential to a rally diff. This is going to give you the best of both worlds, off-road and on the pavement. All right, since this is a all-wheel drive car, it should launch okay on the pavement. It's still going to spin a little, but we should be pretty good. I'm going to adjust the downforce just a little bit. We're going to put it closer to where it was on the track, maybe up 1, see how that feels. And we're going to go for it. So let's test this on HTV2 and Rumble. Oh, gotta love that quad tip exhaust. All right, this is the HTV2 test. Let's see how it does. Anything close to a 152, I would say is pretty good. Hopefully this thing rocks it. Oh, pavement launch was actually pretty slow. I was wrong. It's a little bit of a slow turn as well. It just wants to hook up. The car's just dying to hook up, bro. Stop sliding, let me hook. All-wheel drive, baby. Oh, I don't know, man, I don't know. Is this gonna have the speed? It's got a lot of traction. Like a true rally car. I like it. Moving the downforce up 1 was such a good idea. Very, very good idea. It feels really good. All right, let's see if these cars get in the way at all. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. We're going for time, cars. You get out of my way. Hey, look at that, dude. Under 252. I called it, bro. I think it was a 251. Let's write this down. What do we got? What do we got? I said 2. I keep saying 2. Why am I saying 2? 151. 151.41. That is excellent. That is very good. This is going to be a decent off-road car, I feel like. Let's take it over to Rumble, see what happens. Here we go. Rumble test. Let's go. With that dirt launch. Hey, that's pretty good. That's really good. Feels good. Feels good. Went a little wide on that first turn, but it feels okay. Come on, we're going for time here. All right, after 1 lap, I'm feeling okay. It's definitely not the fastest off-road car, but it does well. This has a lot of history in rally. This Ford Focus RS. So you would think it would be good on the dirt. We got a whole bunch of traffic here we're going to have to try to pass. This is going to be nuts. We're going on the inside. We got the checkpoint brake, but we're still moving, dude. We're leaving. It's better than hitting a car. All right, this is it, boys and girls. We've got just a couple of turns left. What kind of a time are we putting up here? It's gonna be 312, 313. What are we doing here? Let's get that NOS. Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yep, it was a 313. 313. This is going to put it in the middle of the pack. 313.79. All right, with that time, this actually puts this car in the middle of the pack. Not quite in the middle. It's kind of towards the upper middle, I guess you could say. It's around, 15th place. It's really similar to the Mustang that we just tested in terms of its overall times. But let's get this off-road build card up here, and then we'll summarize the video, and we can call it a day. All right, same engine we've been using all video long, the 4.0 liter V8. Ultimate Plus engine parts, Ultimate Dual Turbo, Ultimate 5x3 pound NOS, Super Rally suspension, Elite brakes, and Elite off-road tires, Elite Plus clutch, Elite Plus 8-speed gearbox, and the Super Rally differential. The auxiliaries could be NOS refills, NOS duration, and my live tuning is very similar to the drift live tuning, but I did move the downforce up 1. So live tuning is +2 steering sensitivity, -4 on the downforce, traction control off, drift style on gas. This is it, baby. Let's get to the end. Let's summarize this thing. Let's show you the rankings for this car. All right, so for a track build for this Focus RS, this thing is actually okay. It's not great. It's really in the middle of the pack. It's just okay. That's all I can say about it. But I will say this, it does run a time under 3 minutes on Arian. We ran at 2:57 with this car, which is really similar to a car that I forgot about. Remember earlier in the video when I said this might be the fastest hot hatch in the game? Well, there's a car I forgot about. It's the 2010 Subaru hatchback STI. That thing is very close, but just a smidge faster than this Focus RS. So I can't crown this thing as the top hot hatch in the game. Top hot hatch is very hard to say. I don't know why I keep trying to say that. The best hot hatch in the game, the 2010 Subaru STI is just a little bit faster on the track. As far as drag goes, again, it's right in the middle. It's not fast, it's not slow. It does an 8.63 quarter mile, and it is all-wheel drive, so it has a great 0 to 60, but it just doesn't have the power at the back end of the straight. As far as off-road goes, again, it's okay. It's not great, it's not terrible. It actually is very formidable, and you can definitely beat all of the AI, and I think you can beat them on hard as well, but it's just not amazing at really any of those things. What it is really amazing to do with this is drift. Drifting with this car is absolutely so fun. It is great fun. This is something I would definitely recommend. Use this thing for a drift car, or if you're just bored of using all of the meta cars, use it for a track build. It's not terrible, definitely not terrible. I have to give it to the guys over here at Ford for this Ford Focus RS, and even though they had literally nothing to do with this being fast in this game, but it's pretty good. That's all I can say. It's pretty good. That's what you're gonna get, Ford. I'm a Volkswagen guy, sorry. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming back to another video, and I'll have another build video pretty soon, so keep your eye out for that. Shout out to all the Militia subs. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.